Hey y'all, it's Joe. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, I appreciate y'all being here and would love a subscribe and a like down below. We do a few different things here. We kind of do walkthroughs on stuff like my Bronco behind me, my F-250 outside, that, projects, walkthroughs, just kind of a little bit of everything. And then we do product reviews every few weeks of, Overland accessories, off-road accessories, and different parts and things we do. So you get a little bit of variation here, but try to do very forthcoming, honest, no bias reviews here, no biased opinions on any of this. So tonight we're going to take a look at a couple different 12-volt coolers, fridges, freezers, whatever the heck you want to call them. Probably a couple months back, I got a Bodega Cooler that, Bodega Coolers reached out and offered to send me. We did an unboxing of it, kind of a quick walkthrough. And ever since then, I've been working on, how I like it versus my 41 quart Blizzard box that I've had for about a year and a half now, or just over a year maybe. So I've done quite a bit of testing, quite a bit of just, overall day-to-day use. I have them on a fridge slide in the back of my truck. The Bodega is a 38 quart dual zone. I call it a dual zone. They call it a dual zone. It has a removable divider in the middle. So you could make it a single zone, which is frankly what I prefer, but it also could run as a dual zone. And then the Project X is a 41 quart single zone. I just kind of want to look at them, do a quick kind of review. We'll hook them up to my Ampace power bank to do a full cool down session. We'll probably run them down to, like 35 degrees, something like that. So just on the bottom end of that fridge threshold. I don't typically run any of this as freezers. I always run it as fridges. And so we'll see power draw. We'll see time it takes to cool down. It's 88 here in my garage right now, according to the little garage door opener. And both of these have been open for several hours. So they're roughly 80 degrees. And as well as the air temp in here. So we're not dealing with cold temps or anything super extreme, but pretty good representation. Let's take a little bit deeper dive look into both of them. They're pretty wildly different price points. The Bodega is about a third of the price of the Blizzard box. Let's see how it stacks up. So yeah, here's the Bodega. If you didn't see my initial video, you can kind of get a quick view of it here. It's got what I call, for lack of better words, like that old igloo-esque like finish to it. Textured top. It's got hard plastic sides. It's nothing that I would, complain about at all. It's got handles that are magnetic to the side here that flip up. This one does have wheels. The wheels are actually in it right now because it doesn't fit on my fridge slide with the wheels on. But I'm about to weigh them to kind of get a weight difference. So I wanted to have the wheels on there for that test. This one is also magnetic and flips up as kind of a carrying handle if you want to use the wheels. And then again, internal on the Bodega. You've got two trays or two, wire baskets and this middle divider. Again, I prefer a single zone. I very, very seldom ever need frozen materials, when I go places, frozen items. They are plastic centered, rubber wrapped wheel. They're very nice. I mean, I can't speak poorly on that. It does have a drain in the bottom of it. And something I really do love about this one is their display is awesome. Super easy to read, super crisp, super clear. And coming in just around that $300 price point, just north of $300, I think it's a pretty good deal. I really do. One of the things I was very, very hesitant about initially was this lid that opens to the side. I just wasn't sure how I'd like that based on, a traditional lid that either lifts off or flips back. That was one of my really big hesitations. However, after using it, I really, really do like it. It's super nice to just flip to the side when it when my fridge slide comes all the way out the tailgate. And overall, very, very happy with this fridge. But I do have some, just overall gripes about it. So first off, let's get it on the scale and let's see what this thing weighs. All right, so we are on the scale now and we are clocking in right at just shy of 31 pounds all in with the wheels in the cooler there. Next thing we'll do, we're gonna do the same with the Project X. I'll do a quick walkthrough on that. And then we're getting them hooked up to a power bank. So on the Blizzard box, unlike the Bodega, it has a full lift-off lid. For loading, it's really nice to have. The trays come out, it has a metal lined while the Bodega is plastic. I actually kind of like the plastic lining, although I do worry that, I'll drop something in there and crack it. This is proven to be very robust. There is no drain on this one, unlike the Bodega. I feel like on this one, these handles, they're much more, they're just beefier. And it's not that I'm worried the Bodegas are gonna break necessarily, but just ergonomically, much nicer to handle, truthfully. Pun intended, I guess. So I do really like that. It is slightly taller of a fridge because it is a 41 quart, but as far as footprint, length, and width, it falls in right at the exact same size there. So both of these fit on my slider, which is nice. Now, one thing I don't like about this Blizzard box is this display, and once I plug it in, we'll see, it's kind of hard to read in the sun. If you have direct sun on that, it is tough to read. I believe it's blue letters, and it's just a very, very old school display. That is one thing I don't like. It does have a USB plug here, and it has your normal or emergency use override for that low power, low voltage shut off on your if your batteries get too low. So that's a quick run through there. Now this one comes in right at $1,000. So guys, it's considerably more expensive. And there's no denying that. It just plain and simple is. So let's pull the Bodega off and we'll throw this on the scale. All right, so the Bodega was right at 30.8 pounds and this is coming in at 33.8 pounds. So overall, it is heavier. I'm gonna tell you just honestly, it feels lighter, which is crazy to think that it is heavier. I think it's all the handles, truthfully, on it. And so I do prefer carrying this one from the basement upstairs or carrying it around a campsite if I pull it out of the back of the truck. But I think one of the real tests here is let's see how long it takes to cool down from roughly 80 degrees down to, I'm gonna set it at 35. I will, just to make this even more fair, I'll pull out the center divider. I'll take the wheels out too, I don't know why that would really impact it. I'm gonna leave the trays in there, the baskets in there. Let's plug it in, get it hooked up to the AMPACE. The nice thing about this AMPACE that we have here is you'll be able to see the output that it has, so you can understand, how much output or what the draw of this fridge is in cool down, and we'll just get a full picture on, hey, what this might look like. So we'll start with, we're gonna start with the Bodega, and let me get it set up here. All right, so we've got the Bodega plugged in, nothing's powered on yet. I mentioned that the Project X has a USB, this one does as well. I'm gonna have you in here so you can hopefully see the temperature as well as the life on this, and the output here on the AMPACE. Let's power this on here, and it is at 77 now. I'm gonna set it down to 35. It just clicked on, and as you see, we have a 46 watt draw right now, clicking up to 51. And this is at 77 degrees. So let's see what the time is on that on cooldown, and I'll be right back to you. So I'm not quite sure what happened here. We are 17-ish minutes in to running. It is at 41 degrees. But the compressor just shut off. So it's not down to temp. It's supposed to be at 35. But yet we're at 41. I'm not sure what happened here. So again, 17 minutes in, it decided to shut off. I don't know if it got overheated. I mean, granted, it's an empty cooler or fridge, so I know it's working really hard. You know, because obviously when they have nothing else to keep them cool or nothing to, you know, to actually chill and then help hold temp, they do have to work harder. But seems kind of strange to me. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm gonna give it a couple minutes here and see if it kicks back on. And we'll, I guess, kind of stand by. All right, well, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I hadn't noticed an issue like this before in the past. Again, I've had it full. So a little surprised by this. I guess let's open it up and kind of let's take a look. They do have lights on the inside, or they do have a light on the inside right here. So it is kind of nice. It is plenty cool in here, but again, it's not at the temp that you know, we have it set to. I'm gonna put the divider back in, and yeah. So now you have, you know, the other side, which they're both set at 35. But again, as running a single zone here, it did kick back on. But still, really doesn't make a lot of sense why it did that. So I'll let it continue to work down. I'm not sure, again, why it shut off. But let's see what it does. Let's see if it can kick it down. So we were... All right, so it's now at 35 degrees, right at 35 degrees. So I'm gonna, at least the one side is. And since I opened it and I put that divider in so we can register the opposite side temp, I'm gonna call that kind of the cool down time. I know it's still running, one side still has 4 degrees down, but all in all, let's just say it's a 30-minute cool down. But it did have that 5-minute break, which I really don't know what happened there. That was very strange. It does have an app for it that is downloaded on my phone, but I'm shooting on my phone, so I couldn't access the app to see what might have happened. So that was kind of bizarre. But the one thing, and we'll see what the Blizzard box ends up, you know, doing for a full cool down time and get a good feel for there. But the one thing I have noticed on this one, and maybe the Blizzard box will make me an idiot, it feels like and it seems like it has run more often and pulled more battery when in the back of my truck. Now, granted, sometimes it's in the full sun, but it just seems like it runs more. I go back and I look at, you know, my battery voltage when I get in the truck after sitting in there for a day, and it's lower. So I feel like it's running more. Now, is that the truth or not? I guess we'll see on the cool down time on this one, and we'll just get a better feel for what's going on. So let me set you up here with the Blizzard box. I'm gonna actually plug the Bodega now into an extension cord just so we can see if it's gonna cycle at all to keep that 35-degree temp, and we'll do the same test on the Blizzard box. All right, so the Blizzard box is right at 80 degrees to start. Plugged it in, set it to 35. Again, one single zone 41 quart versus a semi-pseudo dual zone Bodega. We did move, and that's a 38 quart. We did remove that center divider. But let's do the test on this, see what kind of output we have, what kind of draw this fridge is gonna do, and then current temp, and we're going to set this down to 35 degrees. So let's see what kind of timeline we have on the Blizzard box. All right, so the Blizzard box just finished up. It's at 35 degrees. It is on, like maintain mode right now. And it seems to be, that total time there was right at like 16 minutes. Again, that's for a 41 quart fridge versus a 38. Max draw looked to still hit around that 73, 74 limit. And guys, that's pretty consistent with what I've seen from this unit. I've noticed that the Bodega seems to run just more often. I don't know if it's the compressor. I don't know if it's the insulation. I don't really know. And again, it's a third of the price. So, I mean, maybe that's to be expected. But here's something else to kind of note on that Bodega. And I'm not bashing it. Trust me. I do like the cooler. I do. And again, especially for the price of right at like $300. But here's the current temp on there. We've got on the fridge side 53 degrees, and on the what they call freezer side, since I have the divider in, at 35. It's been running nonstop. So it's trying to cool down that other side, and it just for some reason isn't. I feel like that might even be a sensor issue, because it's not that much warmer on one side versus the other. On this, actually, no, I lied to you. It is. What they consider the freezer side, this L-shaped side, it's warmer than the other. So something's with that being on the compressor side. Probably it just gets a little more heat. All right, so the Blizzard box is still sitting here after about 10 minutes of being at 35. It's sitting at 37 now. It's still on maintain. That compressor hasn't kicked on yet, as it still has a couple degrees of fluctuation there. But so yeah, that's a little bit of what I guess I've noticed with the Bodega versus the Blizzard box by Project X by Blizzard box, whatever you want to call it. It is a slightly larger cooler. However, it cooled down in the exact same garage, exact same, conditions at half the time, which to me that's huge, especially if you're looking at power consumption when you're, overlanding off the grid. Even if you're just, cooling it down. Let's say you're using it to store some, your power goes out and you're using it to store some critical stuff, and you want just to make sure that a few things stay cold. I don't really know. But for me, that power consumption is pretty important, as well as how often it runs. This Bodega has run almost nonstop since, trying to keep that freezer side at 35 degrees. The fridge side is at 35, but it's run for the past 30 minutes just trying to maintain temp. So not entirely sure what that's about. I'll have to read up on it to see if that's, consistent, but for my money and where I'm at, I'm glad I have the Project X Blizzard box at, the 41 quart. Do I necessarily think, again, the Bodega is a bad option? No, especially if you're on the budget. I don't think it's gonna, ruin your day. And I haven't tested an IceCo. I haven't tested any of those. The others that are out there. So maybe this is consistent. Maybe I don't know which end of the spectrum I should be on here, but I know the two units I have in front of me, what I would pick if I had the money to afford it would definitely be the Blizzard box. I've had this thing running all the way down into the at 20 degrees to keep stuff frozen, actually for work, and so I'm very happy with it. It'll be the one I continue to run in the truck. The Bodega will probably be a backup that I have in case this one ever causes me problems. The only thing I would really, really love to see on a Project X, if they do a redesign, as much as I thought I'd hate it going into it, I would love a lid that flips open to the side instead of front to back. Just getting stuff in and out on the truck, how it's set up for me would be awesome. But hey, if that's the only gripe I have on it, so be it. So guys, I appreciate it. You know, I really do appreciate you all being here. You guys supporting me. You know, this is just something I do as a hobby. I love doing, you know, my Instagram, my social media, but I'd really love to kind of, you know, have this, you know, just, I like doing more long form with you guys. It's fun. You know, I love seeing you guys watch it and then even go back and watch old videos. So it's just neat for me. And just knowing you guys are kind of into the same stuff I am. And, you know, if you have questions, reach out to me on Instagram, drop a comment. Obviously, subscriptions, if you hit a subscribe, I very much so appreciate it. And I'll see you again next week.